Welcome back, 5 aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 aces here. Welcome back to Despro Domination League. This time it's, I think, the third iteration, round number 3. And today Despro is facing off against someone who always has a bag of tricks up his sleeve. It is Upps. He is confusing me hardcore, by the way, because he has chosen to stick with the same color scheme as Angie throughout the season. So always get the urge to say Angie whenever I see this, but it's Upps, aka Mudflux, which seems to be his new moniker. And yeah, Despro, thus far unbeaten. Can Upps actually put a dent into his winning streak? We're gonna find out. Upps is always someone who is good for a surprise, maybe 3 ref all in on a rush distance that is just slightly longer than the waiting time for the Tiberian Sun remasters. And I'm not talking about OpenRA, I'm talking about the actual EA releases that are, yeah, it's a sad story really. Alright, people firing at each other over the walls, that is sure to be effective. Both repositioning their infantry at the time being. Yeah, one of the scouts being sacked. And this needs to be some good old force fire magic that needs to be worked here. Okay, trying to take down the Derrick. Interesting. So Despro is trying to find an engineer. He probably knows that there is something going on. Yeah, he's sending an engineer up to the north. And that's interesting. So Upps is trying to fire down the Derrick. Trying to hose it down here. Okay, it's down in the yellow already. Oh! He pressed the stop key just in time. Yeah, I think that's fairly even. Good lord. He's actually going for War Factory first after opening 15 rifles. Are you certain about that, my friend? He actually is winning the early game, sort of, kind of. Oh, force fire magic. Oh, so close. We're seeing the intricacies of force fire, and at the end of the day, Despro emerges victorious, but that is a Pyrrhic victory if I've ever seen one. The economy, assets even. Let's take a look at the combat. So, good lord. 12 rifles lost, 9 rifles lost. That is a meaty early game. Wait. What? So, he went... he actually did go double ref, and he just delayed his power plant for so long. It's a really weird build. I thought it was a War Factory first, but maybe it was just the first skirmish going so long that he actually had already built a double refinery. That may be the case here. Alright, stand corrected then. So, we're seeing a couple grenadiers being rallied into the backlines of the base, and Despro does not have a field defense ready, but he does have a barracks very nearby, so this is unlikely to cause a lot of damage this late into the early game. It's probably already, by the time they arrive on a map this large, it's already the mid-game. Upps is struggling a bit with his econ, and that doesn't strike me as a great surprise here. Third harvester is coming online. With grenadiers, realistically the best you can get is the power, because everything else just takes too long. Despro has built a field defense already. He's also struggling with the econ. Let's take a look at the graphs. Higher army count for Despro. Okay. Gets some points of damage onto a power plant. Is that enough? Yeah, it is enough to briefly, for the briefest of moments, Despro was in low power. He has managed to get a light tank out though. APC is immediately being found and sniffed out by the rocket infantry. That is terrible. So that is very scary. Despro now has a light vehicle out, whereas Upps certainly doesn't. He's going for a counter push. This army hasn't been scouted yet. Okay, no. He's trying to find an angle into this army. Oh, the rockets are trying to exfiltrate, but the tank is hunting them down. This is not gonna go over well. The crush, yeah, no, pushes the rocket into the awaiting arms of the army anyway. So that just went from bad to worse for Upps. He is now finding himself in a very precarious position without any field defenses. He's got his MCV out, but that's about all she wrote. There is an army roaming around, can take down the oil derrick very easily, and just like that, Despro has field pressure. He appears to be varying early pressure as well for the most part, unless he goes for a crazy cheesy strat like we've seen last time against Angie, where he went for a Raidadome first, and it worked out really well. Okay, now we're cooking. First heavy tank is out for Upps, and we're gonna take a look at the general economic situation. It's not that terrible just yet. It's just a 1k lead for now. But if you take a look at the bank, it's already starting to stack up. Expansion refinery is being deployed by Upps. Maybe he needs to take more risks. Maybe he even needs to take this base and hope it isn't being scouted for a long, long time. The army is giving the reach around, and the scouts have both missed the army. So Upps is completely blind to this. He is not gonna see this one coming, especially given that he just sent out scouts. That is an unlucky hell of a timing. Oh no, he is gonna find himself in a pickle just momentarily. Oh, the MCV is moving out as well? Oh no. Did he not notice? Oh, he did, yeah. Yikes! That is certainly a dead harvester. No second harvester down, at least. Oh my goodness, is he actually gonna kill the war factory as well with this incursion? Oh, what? This is pinpoint accuracy. What an unlucky series of events. Just like that. No more war factory production. Oh my goodness. That's mostly rockets. It's not good to push into this army at all. Despro, finding the weakness, exploiting vulnerabilities yet again. No war factory production coming out for Upps this time around. He's also lost another harvester. Oh my goodness, this is bleak. This is an absolutely bleak early to mid game. At least Upps has managed to ward off and repel this attack. He's now moving on to a third base, but he has lost his second, or that is to say his first base actually. If we're being precise. Oh, this is just terrible. No war factory production, that just means that he's gonna be so far behind. Artillery's already out for Despro. Alright, he himself has taken a third base, the helipad is online. Helicopters are coming out. Second artillery is being rallied into a bit of a dangerous position. That artillery too likes to live dangerously. With a front line of 2 heavies, maybe this could be stopped, but yeah. I highly doubt it. What a mobile game that is being played here from Despro. He's attacking on all fronts and angles. Oh, this army hasn't been dealt with either. It's coming back now, trying to find something worth targeting. Nothing to be found here. Oh, the tank is sitting in the middle of all of this. Power plants being tackled, infrastructure getting killed off. Man, Despro. What a crazy multi-prong style here. This O-truck is probably also gonna go down. Oh my lord. How many harvesters is he gonna be on after this? I'd say, yeah, 5. Ouch, that hurts. Just looking at that hurts. He's got 2 helicopters out, so he can just single out the rockets if need be. Or he just waits for artillery support. You know, that's cool too. Yep. Oh, one of the helicopters goes down, but that's fine. Completely worth it. Repelling any and all attacks. He can maybe even steal a heavy tank husk if he so desires. And Upps, despite having a good spread in his of his bases, has not come out of his own base, of his own half of the map at all. This is so hard to play against. He's gotten a war factory back up, so there's a silver lining here. But what are you gonna do? You have to spread yourself so thin because you never know where the next attack is coming from. Man, this one sneaky attack. Helicopters are trying to find something. Maybe the refinery would be a good target. Let's see. Yeah, MCV already skedaddling. Already hauling ass back to the main base. Man, this tank is being patched up by the... Oh, so close. It's being patched up by the mechanic and almost survived the Flamer Blast. What a first game. Despro just dismantling the opposition. And granted, he got a bit lucky. Oh, tech center as well. He got a bit lucky because the scout from Upps just barely missed the army. Otherwise, Upps would probably not have taken this much damage from the first attack, but jeez. This was a brutal display. Alright. And Upps tried really hard. He tried his best to be a bit sneaky about it and took a third expansion, but he couldn't hold against the combined power of those multi-prongs. Alright, we're gonna be finding ourselves in game 2 in just a minute.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And we're back on the lovely beaches of Dover. Apparently, that's the harbor. That's where it all started. So, Despro this time playing as Germany as well. I think he just randomed that, as well as Upps, who goes random as a general rule of thumb. So, what are we going to be seeing here? We're probably not going to be seeing a base in the middle. That's for certain. This map, I've talked about it before. It's relatively stingy with the econ. Ore is relatively scarce, a hard commodity to come by. And you need to secure your mines here and here. Otherwise, you're just gonna get drowned out, and you're gonna fizzle out against an opponent who has more economy. So this is one of those binary... In terms of MCV movement, this map is kind of binary. You have to basically go over to this expansion, pop down a refinery, and then go to this expansion immediately. And if your opponent parks an MCV there, you've got a massive problem. And then eventually in the mid-game, you have to secure this expansion as well. Yeah. That's kind of how this map is going to play out. You can go to the north, but then you're missing out on one extra mine. So I'd highly recommend against that. Alright, oil derricks are there as well. We're probably going to be seeing a two refinery opener for both players, because you really need to secure your oils early and safely on. Medics are being mixed in, lots of medics for Mudflux. Upps is going for a heavy early push start here. No rockets though, so this can get punished very easily. Ha! Despro this time around, having a pillbox ready. He just knows that there is a possibility of grenadiers. It's like a slight chance of... partially cloudy with a slight chance of grenadiers, let's put it that way. First scout is being scuffed. Is being bodied. And we're seeing an engineer grabbing the second derrick as well. For both players, yep. That should be fairly equal. All things considered, he's trying to push onto the oil derrick of Despro. That's so risky, you never know what's around, and there's vision advantage for opponent. That's something I'd never want to do. That's just too high risk. Oh no. Everything is in full vision here. The medics are going in last, so they're gonna be tackled first. Oh no, this is gonna be terrible. Yep. Medics have been found out immediately. He is driving a wedge between the main forces of Upps and the reinforcements. This is going... Okay, maybe he's killing off the oil derrick. Was not being decisive enough here. So Despro loses the oil derrick. That is certainly not what was supposed to happen there. But it is still traded off for a... Oh! Hello there! We're seeing the helicopter rush yet again. Black Hawk rush straight up. I like that. Combat tab is speaking a language of its own here. It's very decisive. Yep, even without the helicopters taken into the equation. First one is out. First Black Hawk is on the menu. Oh, this is so juicy. That's already 900, and then you can just A-move into the rest of the blob. That's basically the helicopter getting an immediate 100% cashback on itself. Yikes. Okay, he's going... Whoa, this time around though, Upps is going for a light vehicle aggression build. Okay, so this may be interesting after all. That's so smart. He's not revealed the helicopter just yet. He's just pretending, you know, I'm posturing in front of your main base. What you gonna do about it? Oh, the light tanks have been revealed though. Okay. How about some counter-aggression? This is an interesting game here. Certainly not standard. Both players are going for highly unconventional builds. The early light vehicle pressure. Upps has opted to not build any more light vehicles. He's just going mass harvesters now. So he has transitioned over into something standard, or as close to standard as you can get here. Triple refinery for Despro. On a build like this, if you want to sustain constant production, yeah, a third refinery is probably smart. Gives you a third harvester. He's playing it safe. Upps is kind of camping for the MCV, but it's not coming. With the helicopters, he should have the scouting information necessary, though. So that's completely fine for Despro. He just needs to make sure that he expands in time. But Upps himself has actually been fairly late. He has built 6 harvesters, he has built 2 light tanks, so he is also really behind with the MCV timing. With a stock standard 4-minute 20 expansion, this would actually have worked out better for Upps. But as it stands, doesn't appear to be the case. The helicopters have not been revealed yet, but they haven't done anything either just yet. What an interesting conundrum here. Oh, is he gonna find the MCV? Is the question. Alright, he's just playing it super safe. MCV is 30 seconds shy of coming online. So there's definitely a distinct advantage here for Upps. That's so weird. Upps has delayed even his... Oh no. Oh no! That's a lot of damage onto the Coneyard. Yikes! He's trying to bait. Okay. Upps is not gonna fall for that. I'm sorry. He is way too experienced for that. That is not gonna be happening. And the ammo bays are almost empty. Oh, there's the engineer as well. Yeah, that's so smart. Despro kills it off, though. God damn it. I mean, he doesn't have enough ammo left in the base anymore, so really, Upps can just sit back and repair the Coneyard back up. It's not a big deal. Even the crash would not kill it anymore at that rate. Interesting, the third helicopter is really delayed. Third Black Hawk online now. Where's the army from Despro? There it is. Oops. You had one job! He undeploys just at the same time that the helicopter has gone in. Had he just killed this off, this wouldn't have been a big deal. Okay. He still has to expend some time on a mechanic. So, good on him for preparing the mechanic already. But this MCV was not meant to die. There was no logical reason for this to die at all. The MCV was not low enough to be killed anymore by a crash. Crashes do a lot of damage, but not a quarter of an MCV's health when it's deployed. So yeah, that is a very, very odd choice. Or he could have just moved away the MCV and fired the rockets without actually suffering from a crash to the face. The army, though, hasn't been revealed here. So this could be... he has seen it now. Nice. Singling out the rockets there. He has sacrificed two of his helicopters, but that's fine. He's managed to thin out the army sufficiently to the point where he can defend. Yeah, especially with an artillery in the mix. The artillery being primed into the attack vector of the infantry. Yeah, there is no way in hell that Upps is gonna breach through here. That is gonna be a clean wipe with minimal losses. There is a tech center out for Despro already. By the way, something I want to talk about. Oh, that's nice though. This little incursion has found the refinery. Harvesters have survived, crucially. And this is the army from the early game with the 2 light tanks. It's fairly impressive there. So this time around, Upps has definitely managed to... Ooh, I'm not sure if that's a good idea here. Barely survives. Okay, so it was the right choice. Nice, well played from Despro. On the other side, with the help of the artillery, is managing to push away this army. Yeah. So, I want to talk about the GPS timer briefly. This has been reworked, and this is something that I have proposed maybe 2 years ago already. And I really am super happy that they have implemented this now. The GPS is now a timed ability. It used to be completely game-breaking. The way it used to work is you waited 7 minutes, it didn't do anything for 7 minutes, then the satellite launched, and as soon as it was launched, you immediately had a global map hack as long as you had access to a GPS, as long as you had access to a tech center. And that was completely game-breaking because you always knew your opponent's every move. It's like playing with open cards, except your opponent doesn't get the open cards. And That was so game-breaking that many people have pleaded for a rework. And the way it works now is the timer is a hell of a lot lower. 2 minutes, I believe. Yeah, no, 3 minutes. And you can activate it every 3 minutes. And every 3 minutes, you are going to be able to see, to have the map hack for maybe 30 seconds, I believe. The only... Oh, Tanya in the mix here already. Tier 3, good sir. Yeah, Tanya pushing back this army. Single-handedly wiping the army. Nice. Yeah, and the trade-off for this is that it's a 3-minute timer. It's the only downside is that the announcer is always going to be audible from a spectator standpoint, which is kind of weird. You're always going to hear the satellite terminate now, which is a bug for all intents and purposes. So this is going to get fixed in the near future, I'd assume. Tanya is here. Oh, she's hiding behind the anti-air gun. Yep, that's so nice. Just deploying it just in time here. So Tanya stays alive. Radar jammer is allowed to push back the rocket infantry like this. There's a lot. So I wouldn't overcommit into radar jammers. One radar jammer is completely fine. This army has been walled off, and the ore truck survives, so... Oops, not out of this just yet. Ooh. Black Hawks have enough ammo left here. Yeah, you should never overcommit into mobile radar jammers because they don't do anything against medium tanks. And basically, mixing in 1 or 2 jammers is fine, and is a great supplement to damage mitigation of the army. Oh, Tanya is running. She's hiding. Oh, that's so well played. She's hiding in the middle yet again. She's still alive. Oh no. Tanya is still going strong here. Yeah, but radar jammers don't do anything against it. They can't jam tank shells. Okay, Tanya went down, but this army should still trade favorably. Man, that's a lot of firepower here. Yeah, satellite terminated. That means... Oh yes, we're gonna be seeing chrono tanks. Absolutely. Chrono tanks, now they have one very distinct vulnerability. Ooh, there is the flank onto the back lines. They have one very, very distinct vulnerability. They've got light armor and no anti-air capabilities, so they are extremely vulnerable to Black Hawks. So you need to somehow micro against that. You can always blink away, but you need something to screen for Black Hawks, which is the biggest problem. Oh no. This army is still going strong, still killing economy left, right, and center. Base push has been... Base push is on now, but Tanya's got something to say about that. Chrono Tank can now, yep, blink past the defensive lines and kill the MCV. With the advent of the first Chrono Tank, that's an immediate GG. Man, what a game here. 13 minutes, first Chrono Tank out. I would have loved for this to go longer, because seeing some Chrono Tank action is always so fun. But kudos to Despro for displaying the entire tech tree, bringing us everything she's got. Chronos are just so fun to use. Probably Chrono and Tesla tanks are my 2 favorite units in the game. Straight up. And then it's Yaks and Mix. Alright, that was one hell of a game. And oops, this time, second round, he's definitely come close to contesting for Despro's, taking a map off of Despro. So eventually he fell to his own hubris because he didn't build an MCV in time. Maybe he just felt too behind to go for a standard build anymore after losing the early game this decisively. And he did not scout, and it's really hard to scout for, especially in a map like this. Who builds tier 2 on a map that is so reliant on expansions? So an interesting choice here from Despro, and I love that he's mixing it up. He appears to be really unpredictable. Alright, thank you for watching. More content to come, and specifically more RAGL content as well. I'm gonna be casting some Minions League games as well. I've got some great recommendations from there. I'll see you next time. 5 Aces, out.
Battle control terminated.